Part 7. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 61. As his personal disciple, Hinata Ryutatsu believed that he would pass on his skills to Hinata Xiao bit by bit without any secrets. But the disciple he favored personally admitted that he was not as good as Hinata Hikari. How could Hinata not be surprised by this? Therefore, he asked Xiao the reason. Because Hinata paused. Hinata always comes up with new moves. This is the reason. Every opponent feels that they have a chance to win when they meet Hinata Hikari. At first glance, the advantage doesn't seem to be on Hinata's side. But then, he was slapped in the face by the speed of light. It's like a person using a kunai against Hinata Hikaru's bare hands, thinking that he is stable. Then, the next moment, Hinata Hikari, who was smiling strangely, took out a pistol. When his opponent also took out a pistol, Hinata Hikaru laughed twice and took out a submachine gun from his arms. When someone else took out their submachine gun, they probably had detected the launch of a nuclear bomb. Sponge light always surprises Pai Daxiao. So why not ask about the magical Namikaze Conch? It was so. Hinata nodded slightly. A ninja must always have a trump card so that he can be invincible. Hinata Hikaru is very good at hiding her trump cards, and she has a lot of trump cards. Not only can she talk nonsense, she can even print cards on the spot. This advantage was enough for her to win. So Xiao, do you know the origin of the skills that Rixiang Hikaru has acquired? Hinata Yoshitatsu asked the most critical question. That is, where did Hyuga Hikari learn her abilities from, or who did she learn them from? Although Hinata Yoshitatsu didn't know about Hinata Hikari's rebirth, it was quite simple to deduce that it was unreasonable from what was happening so far. It is doubtful that Hyuga can achieve such an achievement. Does she have a master or something? I don't know this. Silence, then shaking his head. Not only Hinata Yoshitomo, but also Hinata Xiao, Orochimaru, and even others are more or less suspicious. Paper can't contain the fire. Hinata's actions are so conspicuous that anyone with intelligence can detect them. On the other side, Hinata, who had regained his sleep, was reviewing what he had learned so far in his small courtyard. Clone technique. The smoke rose, and an identical Hyuga appeared next to him. Transfiguration. The same white mist billowed, and when the smoke dissipated, Hinata used the transformation technique to change into another appearance. Substitution. Placed at his feet, the stand-in wood that had already carved the charm disappeared in an instant, replacing Hinata Hikaru, and Hinata Hikari himself swapped with the wood. The above are the basic three body techniques taught in ninja schools. So next, is the Hyuga Light Ninja technique. Hiding technique. Hinata Hikaru took out a piece of curtain like a magic trick, and as she shook it, it swayed and merged with the environment. In the future, there will be a ninja named Konohamaru who also likes to use this technique. However, in terms of attainments, Hinata Hikaru will kill Konohamaru instantly. Millennium Kill. Hinata put his two little hands together, crossed his little finger and ring finger, straightened his index finger, middle finger, and thumb, and then thrust forward hard. Of course, there are the finale skills. The technique of throwing all the shurikens outward. Hinata Hikaru took out a large number of shurikens from his arms and sprinkled them. The shurikens were aimless and stuck into the ground crookedly like water. Ah! Hinata, who looked nervous, nodded with satisfaction. At this point, the review of all E-level spells has been completed, a total of 6 types. Wrong. There is one more. However, which one is more troublesome, it's better to find a special opportunity to review it. Thinking of the departmental test that was coming in less than 2 weeks, Hinata Hikaru was ready to practice other skills along the way. Thunder Lightning Claw. A weak electric arc dances in the hand, somewhat similar to the one used by the Black Wing Uchiha Fire Rock. Water escape water bomb. A small water ball flew out from the fingertips. Fire escape fire bomb. This time it was a small fire bomb, and Akaman used a similar move. The leaf whirlwind. Konoha gale. Various techniques were reviewed one after another. There are more than 10 D-level spells plus techniques. It's a C-level move. Several moves including this were rehearsed by Hinata Hikari. After doing all this, Hinata took a deep breath, relaxed, and then tensed up again. Since Uchiha Fire Rock has been strengthened, it is inevitable that others will also be strengthened. In order to win first place, I will continue to work hard. The practice plan of new moves was put on the agenda by Hinata Hikaru. Then let me, the leader, try the ninjutsu I got from Orokai Gauden ER first. Just as Orochimaru expected, the news of Hinata's violent attack on Uchiha Fire Rock quickly spread throughout the ninja school. It didn't take a day. After school in the afternoon, all the children in the school returned to their homes and boasted about this incident with their families during dinner time. Add some added spice and a threesome. It was spread from 10 to 100, and in just a few days, the whole of Konoha knew about this matter. People are talking about this topic everywhere in the streets and alleys. As we all know, men from the Uchiha Police Department patrol the streets every day. These ups and downs of discussion were semi-forced into the ears of every Uchiha ninja. Things are moving quickly. At the same time, Hinata's amazing power has also become another topic of discussion. The murderous intention fluctuates. The head of the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Hitan, explained this as a new blood lineage limit. Although this explanation is confusing, it makes sense. As we all know, the first generation Hokage Senju Hashirama's blood inheritance limit is wood escape. Through fusion, the so-called blood succession limit was created. Yes, blood inheritance limits can be created. Because when the ninja world was born, there were only 5 basic attributes: water, fire, wind, thunder, and earth. Later, the blood succession boundaries of, and so on were gradually born. In the kingdom of earth, Iwagakuer, the third generation Tsuchikage is a two-dimensional scales onaki. He can even fuse 3 types of chakra, consisting of wind, earth, and fire. The 3 nature changes merged to become the blood successor and eliminated. Onoki, on the other hand, did not have this power at the beginning. The second generation Tsuchikage informed his disciple, Onoki, about the fusion method of dust release. Onoki learned the dust escape because of this. And even the first user of dust release, the second generation Tsuchikage Mu, only mastered dust release through acquired development. Similarly, there is the third generation Kazekage who is known as the strongest Kazekage in Sand Hidden Village in the country of wind. Based on Ichibai Shikaku's magnetic release, he developed one that can be used by humans. With the ancestors of the past and the current figures in the ninja world as reference, everyone made up their own minds and came to a happy ending. The blood inheritance limit is no big deal. After the shock, some of the discussion subsided. But there is another group of people, and the intensity of the discussion has gradually escalated. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 62. Ninja School. A few days later. Quack. With his trademark weird smile, the classroom door was opened. Hinata Hikaru walked in from the outside with a very arrogant pace, saying important things 3 times. Everyone looked at the scene speechlessly. After defeating the Uchiha Fire Rock, Hinata Hikaru was extremely beautiful. In Class 2, he suddenly transformed into a being that no one dared to mess with. No matter how arrogant she is, no one dares to say no. Moreover, after everyone thought about it carefully, they discovered that, in fact, apart from being a little nervous, he doesn't seem to have any shortcomings, and to be honest, Hikaru Hinata is very cute. This is poisonous. They all trembled at this idea of theirs. But overall, The atmosphere in Class 2 has become completely different from before. All of this is because of Hinata. From today on, Class 2 will become the strongest class under the leadership of this leader. Does anyone have any questions? Hinata Hikaru, who walked up to the podium, stretched out his hand and looked at the people in the audience with a proud expression. No one, quack, very good, scumbags, you are all my leader's money-making tool. From now on, work hard for my leader's wallet. Hinata walked up to the podium, stretched out her hands, and gave another nervous speech. It wasn't until teacher Dozawa came in and kicked her off the podium that Hinata finally stopped. This scene made everyone dumbfounded. Okay, everyone, go back to your seats. Teacher Doze stood in the lecture hall and looked around at the students. We have some good news to announce today. Tang said seriously. After hearing the good news, the classroom immediately became quiet. The students looked at the class teacher. After arousing everyone's curiosity, Doze laughed loudly. Congratulations to you for the class exam in 2 weeks. There will be no rest this week. Puff. The students almost spit out the blood. Suddenly, there was a wailing in the classroom. We won't have a holiday until the earth explodes. Tangs folded his hands on his chest and nodded proudly. It was really gratifying to continue working on a day when the moon was so full. Okay, everyone, let's review the 3-body technique today. Tang Ziyi's speech caused another wave of ghosts and wolves howling. That night, on the outskirts of Konoha, Uchiha Clan Nanga Shrine Main Hall. The room, which was roughly the size of 15 tatami mats, was completely occupied by human figures. Because the door was closed, the light inside was particularly dim. Everyone. Uchiha Akeyama, the leader of the Uchiha clan and Fugaku's father, stood at the end, looking around at the clan members under the steps. I believe you all know that the kid Uchiha Huoyan was defeated by that little psycho of the Hyuga clan. Beside Uchiha Akeyama are the Uchiha Futaba brothers and sisters leaning together. The two of them lowered their heads and looked at the tatami on the ground. There were whispers in the shrine, and the clan members' discussions echoed in the space. Uchiha Fire Rock is the most outstanding child among the younger generation of the Uchiha clan in recent years. Within the clan, everyone has the title of genius. That's how he was, defeated by that nervous little psycho. The rumors had reached the ears of everyone present a few days ago. Too arrogant. Someone yelled. That little psycho actually said that our Uchiha clan's ninja tool throwing and fire release techniques are useless and even more rubbish. 3 Become tigers. After the original facts are passed on a few times, they will be distorted by adding color and vinegar, and become completely different from the source. Even if Hinata Hikaru never said these words at all. But under the exaggeration of the public, things will develop towards an irreversible situation. What people say is scary. On the one hand, it refers to public opinion, and on the other hand, it refers to the consequences of such distorted facts. Uchiha Fire Rock may have been defeated, but he is only one person. If his sister Futaba comes with him. Some Uchiha clan members said so. In his mind, Hinata Hikaru might be very strong, but he was definitely not that strong, just a brat from the Hyuga family. Yes, 2 people together can definitely kill that little psychopath. Echoes came from below. For a while, everyone thought it was a good idea. I'm not going to do what you said, Uchiha Huoyan's cold voice sounded. Suddenly, there was an uproar. All the Uchiha present looked at Uchiha Fire Rock in disbelief. What did this young man who was supposed to be arrogant just say? I'm not going to do what you said, Uchiha Huoyan repeated again, with that face of Furui Muha. I am no match for Hikaru Hinata, and neither is my sister. So, that's why I asked you 2 to come together. The tribe's words made Uchiha Huoyan extremely disgusted. No matter he was arrogant before, or he was after being defeated by Hinata Hikari, it was impossible for him to agree with this approach. 2-1. I would never do that, let alone. The two of us are no match for Hinata Hikaru together. I know this best as she has taught me. Only those who have experienced it personally can understand the horror of that little mental illness. Completely defeated. It was not only the body that was destroyed, but also the pride. The extremely rational Uchiha Huoyan at least believed that he was not Hinata's opponent before he opened his eyes. You boy. You know what you just said? The indignation and dissatisfaction of the tribesmen were quickly directed at Uchiha Fire Rock. Everyone, please be quiet. The leader of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Akeyama, shouted, allowing calm to return. Since the kid Huoyan thinks that he and Futaba are no match for Hinata Hikaru, then let's send stronger tribesmen. A stronger clansman means at least a genin. A genin of the Uchiha clan. Maybe even an elite genin. Some of the elite genin of the Uchiha clan can even defeat other ordinary genin in the village who have no trace of blood. I understand everyone's thoughts. I am just like you. I am angry at the methods used by the high-level officials of Konoha to suppress our clan. Because of this, I must let those high-level officials see that a chess piece from the Hyuga branch wants to humiliate us Uchiha. Then it's absolutely impossible. There was a moment of silence in the shrine, then whispers, and finally a loud din. The frenzied atmosphere once again spread underground. Then let's decide next one. As Orochimaru said, the Uchiha clan will not give up easily. They will once again let the stronger clansmen deal with Hinata Hikaru. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 63. My leader sucks, my leader sucks, ho, ho. Hinata's right hand became a claw, and he used strange force on a piece of wood. In order to truly win the first place, Hinata Hikaru is preparing to develop some new techniques, which will be a blockbuster when the time comes. Currently, the ninjutsu that Hinata Hikari is practicing is named by her. The original name is Chakra Absorption Technique, a sea-level ninjutsu, which comes from the previous transaction with Orochimaru. Xiaoguang, what are you doing? Hinata Akira, the pretty maid of Hinata's family who was cleaning the corridor with a rag, glanced at Hinata Hikaru curiously. Well, this leader is practicing drawing stars and gesticulating towards the light. Suxing Zionkaio suddenly exclaimed. Quack, Akio, you also know. I don't know. Hinata Chiu shook his head. Sunlight. Then the leader will tell you something. Hinata started to pace. The star-absorbing technique is an evil sex martial arts. This kind of martial arts specializes in absorbing people's internal energy, seizing the enemy's cultivated internal energy and turning it into one's own use. When you practice to a great extent, you can suck people to death in just the blink of an eye. It can also be used to retrieve objects from the air. If there is a wound on the enemy's body, all the blood in the enemy's body can be sucked out from the air along the wound, causing him to bleed out and die. So smart. Hinata Chiu said casually, but didn't take it seriously at all. Because, Hinata Chiu has never heard of any star-absorbing technique. She believed that this was another fantasy of Hinata's. While Hinata Akira was cleaning the corridor, Hinata Hikaru spent her time exercising hard. When Hinata Chiu left here, Hinata's eyes suddenly widened, his right palm turned into a claw, and the chakra in his body began to gather in the palm of his hand under the control of his consciousness. Blue light flashes. It looks somewhat similar to the red copper armor in the original work when used. Drink. Following Hinata Hikaru's voice, after countless failed attempts, the small piece of wood on the ground shook slightly where the palm of his hand was facing. This time, Hinata Hikari was overjoyed. Gaga, this leader is so awesome that he can't explain such martial arts. I learned it in just a few days. Then, Hinata gathered chakra into his palm again and continued to exert force. Suddenly, the palm-sized piece of wood shook again. It was very weak, not even 1% of her strength, but it was a good start. Just like E-level ninjutsu, when almost everyone is not optimistic about Hinata Hikari. Hinata Hikaru practiced the clone technique to 108, and finally merged into a unique physical clone. With this chakra absorption technique, Hinata also firmly believes that she can develop a new world. Crimson Clone. Under the control of Hinata's thoughts, the body surface shook, and a red shadow appeared. Then, this phantom came out of his body and came to his side. Well, let's practice the star-absorbing technique for my leader. Under Hinata's nervous command, the crimson clone began to exert force on the piece of wood. Hikaru Hinata himself continued to practice as well. The advantage of the physical clone is that when it is released, the memory and learning experience can be transferred back to the main body. By using physical clones, Hinata can gain double the experience points and shorten the training time by double the time. Ho, ho. Hinata Hikaru practiced hard over and over again, performing seemingly silly exercises. But it is precisely because Hinata Hikaru does not play tricks and takes one step at a time that he can achieve his current achievements. Wait until Hinata Chiyu comes back again and prepares to clean the room for Hinata Hikari. She discovered that Hinata was still practicing continuously and had added that weird physical clone. Hinata Hikaru also discovered that Hinata Chiyu was following a figure. She has a fair face, white eyes, short ear-length hair, and is slightly older than her in height and age. But the hair color is slightly mixed with a hint of purple. The hair color of the Hyuga clan is basically the most common. Starting from black, there are several evolutions, dark or light. For example, black mixed with a hint of purple. Another example is that like the Sarutobi clan, their hair is millet color. There are also extremely rare dark green and other colors. A girl with lilac hair, the bandage on her forehead revealed her identity. Separate families. In the compound of the Hyuga clan, only members of the branch family wear bandages on their foreheads or wear ninja forehead protectors. It's Hinata Mame. Separate family, 9 years old, second grader. Enrolled 1 year earlier than Hinata Hikaru. Hinata glanced at her indifferently, and then continued to practice his star-absorbing technique. He looked at Hinata curiously until Hinata Chiyu greeted him. Don't stand outside. It's so beautiful. Come in. In the courtyard, Hinata Chiyu waved to her. But Hinata Mami showed a timid expression, Sister Hinata Akira. This sound made my sister very angry. Hearing this, Hinata Guang's little hands trembled and he almost lost his temper. This is Hinata Hikari's sister's residence. I haven't won her opinion yet. Hinata Mami's performance is innocent and flawless. Although she is 1 year older than Hinata Hikaru, she is like the girl next door. Hinata Mami smiled, a little timid and a little expectant. It's okay, Xiaoguang will definitely welcome you, come on, come in. Hinata Chiyu took Hinata Mami's hand, and just like that, a peer of the same race stepped in. You two need to get along well. Hinata Chiyu smiled and went into the house to tidy up the room. Hinata Hikari didn't speak, still practicing his ninjutsu. And Hinata Mami was standing aside. After a while. Then, that little sister Hinata Hikari. Hinata Mami, who felt a little uncomfortable being ignored all the time, shouted cautiously. That voice. It was as light as a mosquito, as if talking was afraid of scaring Hinata Hikaru. After hearing the sound of Hinata Zami's cooing, Hinata Hikaru immediately stopped practicing. She turned around, put her little hands behind her back, and said loudly. Don't try to get close to relatives. I'm not familiar with you. After hearing Hinata Hikari's words, Hinata's face suddenly changed. She lowered her head and her shoulders began to shake. Then, the shaking became more and more severe. As if crying. Well, Do you have anything to do with me? Hikaru Hinata held her head high and imitated the coaxing attitude of Uchiha Kagen and others, seemingly not noticing Hinata Mami's movements at all. Me. Hinata Mami slowly raised her head. The next moment, the speed suddenly accelerated, and Hinata Mami looked up with a completely different face from before. You made me laugh so hard. Hey, you are indeed a little psycho. The originally soft and whining voice suddenly changed into a tone like a little girl or a strange aunt. Hinata Mami leaned closer, her innocent face becoming ferocious and twisted. Just compare this before and after, it's even comparable to a genetically mutated cheek, looking at Hinata Hikaru very unkindly. You damn kid, you're pretty cool. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 64. Hinata Mami, who had a pretty face but had turned into a little girl, began to circle around Hinata Hikaru. The unkind eyes looked up and down at the former repeatedly. It's true that Hinata Chiu woman insisted on dragging me over to play some kind of game of house and friends with a little mentally ill person, ha ha ha. This is very serious mental pollution. If you are an ordinary person, you will definitely not be able to accept the changes in Hinata Mami. After all, how is it possible for a delicate girl to suddenly turn into a foot-picking ant? Only your IQ. Hinata Mami looked disdainful. What a waste of my time. Seeing Hinata Hikari not speaking, Hinata Mami suddenly became impatient. There has to be some reaction. Hey little psycho, tell me something. Who's your name, how old are you, what are your hobbies, do you have a boyfriend? Well, I definitely don't, that's all. Quack. Hinata Hikaru suddenly smiled strangely and raised her little finger to point at Hinata's beauty. Hinata is so ugly. Hinata was so beautiful that she didn't expect that Hinata Hikari came up and scolded her. This little psycho actually dares to scold himself. Oh, I thought you were mute, but I didn't expect you to actually be able to speak. Then you are really awesome. The last second, Hinata's eyes were bent into crescent moons and her smile was as beautiful as flowers, and then she suddenly changed back to her ferocious look. You little psycho, don't think that you are invincible just because you defeated Uchiha Fire Rock. Hinata Mami suddenly stretched out her hand, trying to grab Hinata Hikari. However, at this time, the door opened with a roar. Hinata Chiu walked out. And Hinata was so beautiful in her eyes, and in an instant, she turned back into that weak girl. It seems that you two get along well, Hinata Chiu said with a smile. Obviously, she didn't notice the scene just now. So much so that they mistakenly thought that the two people who were very close to each other were whispering something friendly. After seeing Hinata Chiu come out, Hinata Hikaru continued to practice her new moves. Hinata Mami was left alone like this. Suddenly, Hinata Mame rolled her eyes and thought about it. She timidly walked to Hinata Chiu and shook Hinata Chiu's right hand. Sister Hinata Akira. Hinata Mami raised her head and looked up at Hinata Chiu. Well, what's wrong? Hinata Chiu asked. Sister Hinata Hikaru seems to dislike me very much. How could that happen? Hinata Chiu was a little confused. It's true, and she kept saying it. Hinata Mami hesitated to speak. What else to say? She even told me to get out. Hinata rolled her eyes. I thought to myself, this leader has encountered a scheming bitch today. But this method is obviously much better than Uchiha Futaba. Interesting. Therefore, Hinata slowly turned his head and maintained the posture of extending his palm. Gaga, why don't you get out? It was hard to tell whether it was a mocking or smiling expression on her cute little face, making Hinata Mami almost unable to maintain her expression. She thought about it but failed to think that Hinata didn't defend or make a noise, but did the opposite. This performance that did not follow the routine at all made Hinata Mami stunned for a moment. In order to hide her expression, she covered her face with her hands and shrugged her shoulders. appears to be crying. Coupled with the whimpering sound that made people's skin crawl all over, it really looked like that. Hinata was in a daze, not knowing why things would evolve into this situation. She forced herself to smile and said to Hinata mommy, "Okay, it's so beautiful, Xiaoguang." She definitely didn't mean it. Amidst Hinata's comforting voice, the two left. Quack. Looking at Hinata's beautiful back, Hinata smiled strangely and returned to training. There are still 10 days until the departmental exam. This morning, Hinata Hikari washed up as usual after finishing her morning exercise and prepared to eat a big pot of rice. Every month, Hyaga Hikaru will turn over the regular money to cover food expenses. Hinata and others are responsible for purchasing ingredients and then cooking them so that everyone can gather together for the meal. Of course, not all family members choose to eat from the big pot. Those who are not willing, or have families, make their own arrangements. There are also some people who often go out to perform tasks and may not necessarily have the opportunity to eat from a big pot every day. Hinata and others will count these situations every day to prepare meals of different sizes. Looking at Hinata Hikaru, who was walking slowly and with an air of dignity on his face, everyone in the branch family on the road stopped one after another, stopped their original conversations, and started pointing at Hinata Hikaru. After the operation of Hyaga Mommy, some bad rumors about Hyaga Hikari began to spread in the Hyaga family mansion. Listening to all kinds of gossip, Hinata seemed to have never heard of it. She just walked straight towards the restaurant. Then, as usual, he sat down in his own remote corner and started eating. This little psycho. Hinata Mommy secretly stared at Hinata Hikari. In the past few days, she had used all kinds of rumors to make everyone believe that Hikaru Hinata had done many bad things. The reason is also very simple. Hinata Hikaru defeated Uchiha Fire Rock, his tail raised, and he became arrogant. It is precisely because of this reason that everyone in the separated family believed these rumors. Of course, the clever Hinata Mommy even used the transformation technique to disguise herself as a different identity and spread rumors to make the rumors more convincing. However, in the face of numerous accusations, various rumors, and secret accusations, Hinata remained unmoved at all. Hee, it's quite bearable. Hinata Mommy inserted her chopsticks into the rice in the bowl and thought to herself. At this time, Hinata Hikaru was making a biag sound while eating. It seemed that he was not eating a big pot of rice, but enjoying the supreme delicacy. Really annoying. Hinata Mommy held the chopsticks and poked the rice hard. Then, the frown gradually relaxed, and Hinata's plan came to mind. Hinata Hikari, who didn't know Hinata's true thoughts, or didn't care at all, was already halfway through the meal. Then they saw Hinata Mommy taking small steps and moving over bit by bit. After taking a deep breath, her face changed into an innocent and flawless expression. Like a shy girl, Hinata Mommy called out Sister Hinata Hikaru in a lively manner. "Oh shit." Hinata immediately rolled her eyes, and the cooing sound gave her goosebumps all over. Without even turning his head, Hinata responded with a calm tone, "It's okay," as if he were facing a stranger. The tone of rejection caused a pain in Hinata Mommy's face. "Okay, your acting skills are perfect," Hinata said. "No, nothing." Hinata Mommy's face turned pale, as if she had suffered a major blow, and she staggered back to the side. "Look, this number is higher than Uchiha Futaba." Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 66. I don't plan to participate in this year's family competition, I'm sorry. Hinata bowed to Hisashi and apologized to the elders of the family. Several separated parents were suddenly stunned. They looked at each other a little. Yesterday, everyone saw the strength that Hinata Hisashi showed in the dojo. If he could represent the branch family in the battle, he would definitely save the branch family's face. But today, Hyuga Hisashi said that he did not intend to participate in the competition. Is there any reason? One of the parents asked patiently. I plan to prepare for the Chunin exam and be promoted to Chunin. Hinata Hisashi gave a reason that everyone could bear. Chuyunin exams are held twice a year. At this juncture, the days of the family competition and the Chunin exam were almost approaching. Well, we get it. The branch elder nodded and then stopped asking. Everyone turned their attention to the dojo. Today, there are still many people in the dojo, and clan members from different families gather here to learn from each other. The crackling sparring in the field failed to attract Hinata Hisashi's attention. Although he is from a separate family, he is still the son of the patriarch with upright roots. Many of the clan's techniques were mastered by him. This is also the reason why Hinata Hisashi's strength is the leader of the younger generation. Suddenly I thought of the girl from yesterday. Hinata Hisashi turned his gaze and began to look for her figure. There are still 9 days until the departmental exam. Hinata stood at the door, with her little hands behind her back, and her exquisite, clear eyes scanning the scene very smartly. She was mumbling words like scumbag. Coupled with the pretentious expression and cute face, it makes people laugh. At this time, the sky was getting a little dark. Hinata Hisashi remembered that Hinata Hikaru had just returned from school. As a person who is relatively well known in Konoha, even Hyuga Hikaru's name is known to him. After all, the name of the Hyuga clan's shame is still hanging within the Hyuga clan. No matter how ill-informed Hinata Hisashi is, it is impossible that she has not heard of Hinata Hikaru's mental problem. Hinata Hisashi stood up and slowly blended into the crowd watching the battle. Then, he walked towards the door. Hinata Hikari apparently didn't notice someone coming towards him. She didn't discover this until Hinata Hisashi stood in front of her. Hinata Hisashi is 12 years old and Hinata Hikari is 8 years old. The age difference of 4 years is enough to make them taller. Hinata Hisashi, who was a head taller than Hinata Hikari, looked at the girl with his cheeks slightly lowered. You are Hikaru Hinata. Okay. Hinata raised his eyebrows and looked at the guy who greeted him. You are Hinata Hisashi. This very weird, even tit-for-tat reply made Hinata Hisashi couldn't help but laugh. But even if Hinata Hisashi smiles, he still looks melancholy. Hinata Hikaru can understand. After all, if the son of a dignified clan leader is poked on the forehead by his father himself, anyone will be in a bad mood. No, Hinata Hisashi felt that Hinata Hikari was in a good mood. She seemed eternally happy. It was like this when I saw it before, and it is like this now. It seemed like nothing could destroy her optimism. In a branch family full of negative energy and even a melancholic setting style, Hikari Hinata lives up to his name, like a real light. What do you want from me? Hinata's face was calm, but his eyes were looking upward, as if looking at the ceiling. This nervous posture will only make people laugh, but will not think it is arrogance or anything. Therefore, Hinata Hisashi suppressed his smile and said loudly, Hey. Hinata Guang suddenly stretched out his small white hand and pushed forward. To make a long story short, I am very busy. Hinata Hinashi couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. It is good. However, he still nodded. Unlike his unkind brother, Hinata Hisashi, who has an upturned nostril, Hinata Hisashi has a good personality. You are strong. Hinata Hisashi said sincerely. Stronger than them all, I can feel it. They naturally refer to the boys and girls who are sparring in the field. There are many talented people in this world. This talent is not necessarily the talent of a ninja, but the ability to see through the essence at a glance. In the original work, Kakashi's father, Heitake Sakumo, could tell at a glance that Kai as a child would become a great being in the future. In fact, Akai almost missed the finale with one kick. The ability to know people. Apparently, Hyuga Hisashi also has this ability. It doesn't matter whether it's a sixth sense or something else. In this world with chakra, anything is possible. Gaga, of course this leader is very strong. He has reached the 3rd level of Do strength. Hinata Hikaru said very proudly. She is never afraid of others praising her. And Hinata Hisashi also realized for the first time. Just like the rumors say, she is so thick-skinned, comparable to an A-level ninjutsu, and can escape thousands of miles from the earth flow wall. But given Hinata Hikaru's mental problems, Hinata Hisashi only found it funny. You are now more powerful than a ninja school student, and even ordinary genin may not be your opponent. Hinata Hisashi said sternly. Hinata Hikaru is only 8 years old, and genin graduates are usually 12 years old, or 10 years old if they are earlier. Her strength is enough for her to smooth out the physical fitness gap caused by age. Oh! Seeing Hinata Hikaru reveal her true identity at one glance, Hinata Hikaru couldn't help but put away her thoughts. A few thoughts flashed through his mind, and Hinata nodded. Well, this leader can actually walk sideways in the ninja school. Seeing Hinata Hikaru nodding, Hinata Hisashi's eyes flashed, and the smile on his face became a little thicker. Then you think you can win the first place in the class test? Hinata Hisashi also attended a ninja school, so he naturally knew what was going to happen in the near future. Of course. Hinata nodded lightly, as a matter of course. Hey, that's not right. Hinata Hikaru reacted and realized that she let Hinata Hisashi get around. You haven't answered my question yet. If you don't tell me what you have to do with me, I will leave. Hinata Hikaru opened her legs and made a gesture of running away. Hinata Hisashi covered it with his sleeve. He really smiled just now. This Hyuga Hikaru is really interesting. Because it's boring. Hinata Hisashi sighed and looked at the field. This leader also finds it very boring. Hinata nodded in agreement. Being among this group of people, Hinata Hisashi was like throwing a tiger into a pile of sheep and letting the tiger fight with the sheep, but he was not allowed to hurt the sheep. A bunch of scum. Mobile station. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 67. Ugh. Hey. The two took turns sighing. After that, Hinata was startled for a moment and seemed to remember something. On the day of the departmental test, I will go and watch it. Oh. Hinata nodded slightly. It must be because of Hinata Xiao. R.I. Xiang Xiao, the genius of the Zone family. As a master, Hinata Ryujin would definitely go to watch the ceremony that day. Maybe Hinata Huten, who has always had a close relationship with Hinata Ryutatsu, will also go and may bring his 2 sons with him. Ah! Hinata Hisashi looked surprised. I thought you would think that I came specifically to see you. Only then did Hinata Hikaru realize that Hinata Hisashi was very sinister. If she had thought that way just now, Hinata Hisashi would definitely laugh at her. Gaga, I'm not familiar with you at all, and I hope I won't be familiar with you in the future either. Hinata Hikaru shook his head and waved his hands. This direct refusal to contact made Hinata Hisashi's expression blank. After a while, he said, actually, I am quite confident in my appearance. Hinata rolled her eyes. Hinata Hisashi, very shameless. Looking at the two people chatting familiarly from a distance, the corners of Hinata Mommy's mouth twitched crazily. Her pretty face suddenly became extremely ugly. Although they are separated from each other, Hinata Mommy has been very strong since she was a child, and she is not ordinary strong. Of course, unlike the wise Uchiha Futaba, Hinata Mommy is very calculating. Just like Hinata Hikari said, Hinata Mommy is a scheming person. For Hinata Mommy, the right thing to do is talk to her. Of course. This is just wishful thinking of Hinata Mommy. Now, seeing Hinata Hisashi, who had been depressed, talking and laughing with Hinata Hikaru, Hinata mommy couldn't help but grit her teeth. Minor mental illness. Hinata's beautiful eyes twinkled. After taking a deep breath, a soft smile appeared on his face. Taking out a small mirror to tidy up her appearance, Hinata mommy walked in with small steps. Day difference. This whining sound made Hinata Hisashi shiver. In an instant, he wilted. The plot of Hinata mommy being crazy and jealous in Hinata Hikaru's imagination did not exist at all. On the contrary, Hinata Hisashi looked panicked and was still wiping sweat. What the hell? Then they saw Hinata mommy pulling the corner of Hinata Hisashi's clothes and shaking it slightly, looking shy. You came back a long time ago, but you didn't say hello to me. My heart hurts so much. Hinata was smiling so beautifully that she couldn't tell that her heart ached. Hinata mommy, let me go. Hinata Hisashi, her cheeks were twitching and she shook her arms hard. What? Hinata mommy took a step back, as if she was going to faint. But he didn't let go. On the contrary, my hands tightened. You used to call me Little Maime, but now you call me Hinata mommy. Is it because I turned into a yellow-faced woman, so you don't like it anymore? Hinata was stunned. Hey, who is this short and silly little sister? Hisashi, come and introduce her to me. Hinata mommy took a step forward and took Hinata Hisashi's arm. It looked like. The nervousness shown by Hinata mommy at this moment even made Hinata Hikaru stunned. She's the one who's crazy. Let me go. Hinata Hisashi shook his hands repeatedly. No, Hinata mommy said while holding on tightly. And he was also chatting with Hinata Hikari at the same time. Hey, little sister, I'm here alone. What can I do to learn Rokuin? Do you want my sister to teach you? Hinata smiled, ha 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 ha. At first glance, it looks like that kind of scheming. What? Hinata mommy suddenly covered her little mouth. I almost forgot that Hinata Hikaru's sister has an abnormal brain. An abnormal person came over to watch the sparring. But, can you understand my clan's soft fist? With your IQ, you must not understand. Hinata mommy turned on her venomous tongue. But even when he was trolling, he was smiling like a flower. As the saying goes, a smile hides a knife. This number is higher than Uchiha Fire Rock. All kinds of harsh words kept coming out of Hinata mommy's mouth. A burst of blah blah. Hinata Hisashi put away his embarrassed look and seemed a little unhappy. Hinata is so beautiful, you are going too far. Why can't I tell the truth? That's what I think, so I said this. Do I have to imitate their bad behavior? Hinata mommy suddenly put away her fake smile and argued with Hinata Hisashi very forcefully. Hinata is very curious. But as long as she thought about it for a moment, she understood that Hinata mommy was scolding the people in the clan. Cough cough. Hinata Hisashi coughed hard. Pay attention to the occasion, and trouble will come from your mouth. Humph, it's already like this, how could it be any worse? Hinata mommy looked like she was broken. A strange conversation, a conversation that only the Hyuga clan can understand. Referring to the caged bird mark on the forehead. Hinata Hikaru, I understand very well. It seems that Hinata mommy also has a spirit of resistance. Quack. The next moment, Hinata laughed strangely and cupped his hands. The relationship between the two of you is truly enviable. I wish you a long life together. Hinata mommy was stunned, she didn't expect this result. The promised chapters of the Tear Beep War. Could it be that? She misunderstood this little psycho. Hey, my leader has already thought of a name for your child. Let's call him Hinata Niji. How about it? Hinata's eyes were glaring, and he didn't look like he was joking at all. Hyuga Niji. Niji. Not a bad name. Okay, I'll call you Hinata Niji. Hinata mommy laughed repeatedly. Well, I won't disturb you two anymore, goodbye. Hinata turned around and wanted to leave. Then, as if she had thought of something, she turned around. Gaga, Hinata is so beautiful. This leader recommends that you strengthen supervision of Hinata and Hisashi, and don't let him harass others when he has nothing to do, so as to avoid unnecessary misunderstandings. It's not Hinata Hikaru, you misunderstood Hinata Hisashi, Kang's hand. Hinata ignored him and left directly. Okay Hinata, you heartless one. Behind him, Hinata Mommy's furious voice came. I'll make you kneel on the washboard later. Quack. Hinata is very happy, Hinata is gloating. The scheming Hinata Hisashi had just taken the bait and wanted to tease her. But I don't care who dares to cheat my leader. Hinata Hikaru discovered that Hinata Hisashi's nemesis is Hinata Mommy. Now, it's interesting. God, Niji, you died so miserably. Hinata hummed a little tune and disappeared from the door. Mobile Station. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 68. Now playing Social Shake. Accompanied by his own BG, Hinata walked into the classroom with very arrogant steps. There are still 7 days left until the grade level exam. There was a solemn atmosphere in the classroom. Everyone is seriously practicing the knot seal, or the art of the 3 bodies. The matter of grade department examination is like facing a formidable enemy. There is only sunlight, and it looks very leisurely. Gaga, practice hard and leave me alone. Hinata waved her little hand to signal everyone not to look at her. But there is no such thing. Hikari-san, morning. Namikaze Minato greeted Hinata Hikari. Gaga, it's early for you too. After returning to his seat, Hinata yawned and lay down on the table as usual. 10 minutes later. Doze entered the classroom. Practice hard. The next week will be the critical moment to decide whether you will stay or go. Those with poor grades will be dismissed. Tangs frowned and said very seriously. His half-threatening look made some students tremble. Then, these naughty children who were not very obedient on weekdays once again devoted themselves to sharpening their guns in battle. Seeing the high cultivation atmosphere in the classroom, Tangs was very satisfied. Except for Hinata Hikari who was sleeping. Ever since Hinata Hikaru exploded the Uchiha Fire Rock, her reputation has spread like wildfire. A lot of people. Tangs said that in addition to Class 1 and Class 2, students in other classes also knew about this matter. Hikaru Hinata became an instant celebrity. However, knowing does not mean believing. Many students in other classes thought that Uchiha Hoyon bought peripherals and acted for others. They believed that Hinata's defeat of Uchiha Fire Rock was nonsense. When the grade department takes the exam, Hinata's true colors will be revealed. Dozawa rapped his knuckles on the table. Hinata Hikaru, who was sleeping, took a deep breath and slowly woke up. With her mouth pouting, she looked like she was seriously awake. This is amazing. I have been sleeping for a whole semester. I think it will go down in history. Tang Zi thought. What a shit. Hikaru Hinata, don't sleep, wake up quickly. Dozawa bang 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 on the table. Hinata glanced very dissatisfied. It's Zaza Tangs. Do you have anything to do with me? If you can't give a suitable reason, then I can only ask you for mental damages. Just ask for money, yes, this is very Hyaga Hikaru. Here it is, you need money, right? Dozawa slapped a 100 tael note in front of Hinata Hikari. For 100 ryo, you can eat 2 large bowls of Ichiraku ramen. You send the beggar away. Hinata Hikaru was very dissatisfied and spoke righteously. The next second, he put away the money with lightning speed, as if he was afraid that Tangs would regret it. Donzawa. Cough cough. Tangs coughed. Okay, the teacher actually wants to ask you a question. You sleep every day for a semester, so what do you do at night? After Tangs asked this question, the classroom suddenly became quiet. Each student either changed his gaze or secretly pricked his ears. On the one hand, the heart of gossip is burning. On the other hand, the students are wondering if Hinata Hikari has any secret to becoming stronger. Without keeping everyone waiting for too long, Hinata answered almost quickly. Gaga, I didn't do anything. I just went back every night, started practicing after dinner, and continued practicing until dawn for half a year. Hinata Hikaru said it lightly, with an expression that a normal person could do. Hinata Hikaru repeated these remarks many times. But when Hinata Hikaru said it again, everyone had to feel that Hinata Hikari might be telling the truth. While others were playing, she practiced. While others were sleeping, she practiced. She sleeps while others are in class. It's unbelievable, really unbelievable. Some students shook their heads. By the way, why don't you ask Ri Xiang Xiao? Aren't Rick Xiang Xiao and Hinata Hikaru the same race? A student had an idea and a burst of ideas. Ridiculous. But I heard Ri Xiang Xiao snored, very disdainful and angry. He looked at the student who had just spoken. You mean I don't sleep every night just to peek at Hinata? Cough cough cough. Suddenly, there was a cough in the classroom. You can eat indiscriminately, but you can't talk indiscriminately. It seems that's really the case. Dozawa murmured, looking around at the students. Did you hear that? Hikaru Hinata has been practicing hard for half a year. Everyone should learn from Hikaru Hinata's spirit of not being afraid of hardship. Dozawa changed the topic and praised Hinata Hikari. Look at Hikaru Hinata, and then look at you, you should be ashamed. Alas. Hinata Hikaru was not satisfied. Tangzi, what do you mean? Hinata's face was calm and her eyes were wide open. You put my leader as a target and became the target of public criticism. On the surface, you are promoting me, but in fact, you have offended everyone. Tangs was stunned. Hey, okay, I will reluctantly help you express what is on your mind. Hinata nodded and formed a seal. Transfiguration. With a bang, Hinata Hikaru turned into Dozawa. The students looked at the scene and felt baffled. Then, Hinata Hikaru transformed into Dozawa and walked straight towards Inyazuka Katsu, who was silently watching Uchiha Futaba. Inyazuka Bones is a huge fan of Uchiha Futaba. Everyone knows this. Hinata Hikaru patted the somewhat dull Inyazuka Bones on the shoulder. Looking at the young man looking up at him, Hinata Hikaru said loudly. Gaga, Inyazuka Bones, stop saying that you are single. Dogs at your age will die of old age. Luo. Inyazuka Katsu made a strange sound that he didn't know how to describe. In short, as he covered his little heart, his body trembled and his limbs kicked. Inyazuka passed away. Everyone. Then, Hinata walked towards a guy with dark circles under his eyes. It seems that his surname is Yue Guang. In later generations, there was a guy named Moonlight Gale. It should be from the same ethnic group. Sleeping is like recharging your body, and you're never full. Cough 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 cough. The young man with dark circles under his eyes started coughing violently, as if he was having a tuberculosis attack. Everyone couldn't help but worry whether he would cough up all his lungs. The third one is Kinju Fengxiang. Sometimes, you feel that you are very ordinary. Don't be sad if you are an ordinary person. You still have the opportunity to be special and be a special ordinary person. The next moment, Kinju Fengxiang got under the table and shut himself up. Mobile Station. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 69. The Fourth Nara Clan. This young man has an upturned braid, and looking at his eyebrows, face shape, and eyes, he looks like a member of the Nara clan. This classmate of the Nara clan has a very smart mind and inherited the high IQ of the Nara clan. However, due to a lack of self-confidence, I often cannot perform my abilities well. Seeing Hinata Hikaru's transformation into Dozawa, the young man couldn't help but lean back, trying to avoid Hinata Hikari's weirdly smiling gaze. However, Hinata Hikari walked up quickly and said to him, "Sometimes, you will doubt your ability. Don't worry. Sometimes you are right. There is really something wrong with your ability." Ah! The classmate grinned and started crying immediately. Then, it's Futaba Uchiha. Uchiha Futaba is diligently practicing the three-body technique. This is absolutely impossible in normal times. Everything changed after Hikaru Hinata defeated Futaba Uchiha. Recently, Uchiha Futaba has become very low-key. I no longer have my nostrils pointed in the sky, I no longer run a dog-licking fan group, I just practice silently. Compared to before, Uchiha Futaba was less aggressive and more approachable. In particular, her hard work in cultivation actually made her fan base expand a lot. Hinata Hikaru walked over and Uchiha Futaba looked at her weakly. I wonder what Hinata Hikari would say to me. Just then, Hinata sighed with pity in her eyes. People who are better than you work harder than you, so why don't you work harder? Uchiha Futaba's pretty face suddenly turned pale. 6th. This classmate is more interesting. Because he is from the Akimichi clan, he is often laughed at by others. But because he is very gentle, he also has many friends. Including girls' friends. It can be said that the young man from the Akimichi clan is the one who can talk to most of the girls in the entire class. Almost every girl cares about saying a few words to him. Hinata Hikaru came to this little fat man and looked at his 200-kilogram tonnage. Almost horizontally long. Little fatty, there must be pure friendship between men and women. As Hinata Hikaru said this, the student of the Akimichi clan's eyes lit up and he was even grateful. But the next sentence made him completely autistic. And every girl you know says that the best they can do is be friends with you. The young man from the Akimichi clan was crying over noodles while crazily stuffing snacks into his mouth. He wants to use overeating to make the cruel reality leave him. The 7th. A young man from the mountain clan. This student looks very distinctive. With his goose yellow hair and a single ponytail, he looks like a member of the mountain clan. But the problem is, most people, walking on the street and taking a look from behind, will think that this guy is a girl at first impression. Then, many students mocked him for being a sissy. And this young man from the mountain clan, whether he didn't know it or was too optimistic, still laughed and mingled with everyone every day. Hinata looked at him with pity. Thankfully the person involved is a fan, otherwise many people would not be able to bear the truth. Wow! The student from the Yamanaka clan shouted, suddenly opened the window, and jumped from the window sill. But it's not a big problem. This is the first floor. You can't fall to death. The 8th. This student. Oh, he is not a wealthy person, just an ordinary civilian student. But being ordinary doesn't mean being humble. Because many civilian students can achieve great results. As Uncle Snake is also from a civilian background and masters core technologies. For example, Miyamu Mountain Toad Immortal Jiraiya. There are too many examples. As for this civilian student, the words he talks about most often are. Hinata looked at him, and he looked at Hinata. Because he had the previous 7 unlucky guys as examples, he soon felt guilty. What are you doing? Quack. Hinata smiled strangely and said casually. In the past, you thought you could buy everything, but later you discovered that you couldn't buy everything. Just when the student thought that Hikari Hinata was agreeing with him, the next line Hinata Hikaru said completely defeated him. Because you're not enough. Hi, why do you have to say that about me? Hi, why do you have to say that about me? The sound of beating their chests and stamping their feet and wailing was extremely tragic. 9th. A boy from the Sarutobi clan who was always being fooled and deceived. Hinata thought for a while and then said, if life deceives you today, Don't be sad or cry, because life will continue to deceive you tomorrow. I'm not alive anymore. The boy from the Sarutobi clan turned around and ran out of the classroom, hitting the wall of the corridor and passed out. The 10th, 11th, the 12th. Hinata Hikaru used jokes full of negative energy to successfully immerse the whole class into the atmosphere called the legend. For a moment, the classroom was filled with dark clouds. Hikari. Tang stared and opened his mouth. Who did you learn these words from? Why don't you learn them well? Gaga, this leader is just telling the truth. Hinata said proudly. Then, she stretched out her arms as if to hug everyone. Life is like this, there are laughter and tears. Some people are mainly responsible for laughter, and other people are mainly responsible for tears. Of course, this leader is the one responsible for laughter. Puff. Many people work hard just to deceive themselves and show off to others. They all just look like they are working hard. Yes, this leader is talking about you. Puff. But don't worry about the road ahead. Many things in life will eventually get better with time. Many people are just fat at first, but they become fat over time. Donzawa. Everyone. Gaga, this leader has finished speaking, and it's time to go back to sleep. Hinata released her transformation technique and walked towards her seat. If any of you come back to disturb my leader's meeting with Dukejo, I will expose your sweet dreams and let you see the bloody reality. Everyone looked at Hinata Hikaru's back. Okay, now I don't dare to disturb her sleep anymore. Haha, I've decided, I'm going to 78 Nebula to fight the tailed beasts. A student suddenly wandered into a trance. The brother who sleeps on my upper bunk. A student suddenly began to sing, his voice trembling. It's not good, Mr. Dozawa and the others were driven crazy by Hinata's light. Some students shouted. Then, the classroom fell into chaos again. Only the sun shines. She soon fell asleep. Countdown to the departmental exam, 7 days. Mobile station. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 70. The sun is shining all over the sky, the shade of the trees is cool, and the sun is practicing in the narrow valley. Her whole body turned into a white phantom, bombarding the surrounding tree trunks and rocks. The sound of banging explosions resounded throughout the back mountains of Konoha. Because the props in the courtyard can no longer adapt to Hinata Hikari's Goken practice, or in other words, there is too much noise in the courtyard. So, she came here. The natural mountain walls and trees in the sky are excellent targets. The small waterfall crashed on the rocks, stirring up some water vapor. When the sun shone, colorful lights appeared. Hinata, dressed in white, was practicing what she was best at. Bodywork. After reviewing the previous E-level, D-level, and some C-level techniques, Hinata was ready to start practicing physical techniques. As the taijutsu used by Jirobo, one of the 4 sound ninjas in the early stage of the Little Boss Bee in the original work, this set of techniques naturally has its merits. Previously, Hinata Hikaru defeated Uchiha Fire Rock with Arhat Fist, and when he was escaping, he killed him remotely with a palm. This set of physical skills is very comprehensive and powerful. Can be offensive and defensive. To deal with ordinary scum, E-level and D-level techniques are enough. But if the opponent is an elite monster, such as the Black Wings Uchiha Fire Rock, then, it will be difficult for low-level physical skills to kill the opponent instantly. At this time, the Arhat Fist, which has C-level power, comes in handy. Luhan Quan is divided into 6 forms. Attack your opponent with your knees. Suitable for close combat. Also known as the Iron Mountain Back, it hits the opponent with its shoulder. Also suitable for close proximity or special situations. Swing your palm directly in front of the enemy to attack the enemy from a distance. The distance is not as good as Bagua Kongjang, but the killing range is wider. The greatest value is that this is a long-range move. Hold your hand in the shape of a claw and swing it towards the opponent and knock the opponent into the sky. It is specially used to defeat attacks from the air. After Koji used the doubling technique to become a giant, he tried to crush Jirobo to death, but Jirobo used this technique to defeat him. It was so lethal that even Koji, who had expanded hundreds of times in size, was able to defeat him. Hold your hands into the shape of a claw and use brute force to kill the enemy on the ground. There is no doubt that this move is for last hitting and also for control. Punch out a rock-like fist directly in front of the enemy to kill the target unit. It is the most powerful among the 6 styles of Luhan Quan. These 6 forms form a system of their own. Except for the lack of footwork, it is perfect. As for foot skills, you can rely on a series of Konoha fluid techniques invented by the 2nd generation Hokage Senju Tobirama. From D-level Konoha Whirlwind and Konoha Gale, it can extend to higher level C-level Taijutsu. But that's another story. At present, as long as you fully master Luhan Quan, you can be invincible. Knee raising. Hinata kicked out her right leg suddenly, and a blue chakra cyclone emerged in front of her knee. The trees exploded, shattering debris and bark. Protruding shoulders. His shoulder hit a tree trunk. The tree trunk shook violently while cracks appeared. Collapsing palm. His right palm suddenly swung out, and the transparent wind distorted the air. The tree trunk 1 meter away exploded directly, leaving deep handprints in it. High five. Hikari jumped and flashed, holding a claw in his right hand and grabbing at the waterfall above his head. The water of the small waterfall actually rolled up and flew up. Press palm. His right paw suddenly slapped towards his body. The pool suddenly boiled and burst into flames, splashing with large splashes of water, as if a detonating talisman had been thrown into it. Rock attack. The final blow, the right fist. The rock walls shattered and the ground shook. Seeing the results of the damage he caused, Hinata put down his posture with great satisfaction. She had already mastered the set of physical skills in her previous life, and it was extremely versatile. No matter what kind of enemy you face, Luhan Quan can play a big or small role. There are still 6 days until the departmental exam. In these 6 days, Hinata Hikaru plans to focus most of his energy on practicing the set of Gukken. To live a new life, what we need to do now is to master Luhan Quan again and become familiar with it. For this, a lot of hard work and effort have to be put into it. After that, Hinata continued to devote himself to practice. A few more days passed, and there were still 3 days left for the countdown to the grade level exam. This is still the back mountain of Konoha. Hinata quickly moved around in the forest, unleashing various moves. From rock attacks to other moves, Hinata Hikaru has mastered them again. The next moment, Hinata suddenly stopped in front of a big tree surrounded by 2 people, charged up his right palm, and shot out from the air. Collapsing palm. There was a muffled sound, sawdust flew everywhere, and a hole the size of a wash basin appeared on the surface of the tree trunk. And in the center of the hollow, a mark that vaguely looked like a handprint was imprinted there. Alas! Looking at this scene, Hinata Guan groaned softly, thinking a little. The exquisite white eyes blinked, and the long eyelashes trembled slightly. Then, the iconic weird laughter sounded. The leader was suddenly inspired and thought of a good idea. As the saying goes, you learn something new by reviewing the past. Hinata Hikaru tirelessly repeated the past moves in his past training. It's not just for review. More importantly, as the ancients said, you can learn something new by reviewing the past. Seeing the handprints on the tree trunk, a magical idea came to Hinata's mind. See you soon. Hinata turned around and struck a small pebble on the ground. Collapsing palm. The ground exploded, and the flying soil rose into the sky. In the center of the impact, there were small pebbles that turned into powder. No, no, you're using too much force. Hinata shook her little head, and then continued to perform. Collapsing palm. This time, the pebbles broke into several pieces. Come back again. Hinata Hikari continued to use collapse palm. But this time, instead of increasing the lethality, it reduces it. That's right, Hinata Hikaru tried his best to control Bengjang, trying to minimize the damage caused by Bengjang. Collapsing palm. After hundreds of attempts, the situation changed slightly. Hinata struck out with a palm, and the pebbles on the ground suddenly rolled to the side as if they were blown by a hurricane. Quack, very good, we are almost close. Another dozen efforts. Collapsing palm. This time, the palm wind released by Hinata light was like a breeze blowing on his face. It's done. Hinata Hikaru was overjoyed and began to enter the second stage of training. Collapsing palm. A gust of wind flew out of the palm, containing Hinata's chakra, and rushed towards the pebbles on the ground. The next moment, Hinata's right hand suddenly changed from a palm to a claw. Taking stars. Mobile station. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 71. Blue light shines in Hinata's palm, which is a precursor to the release of chakra absorption technique. I saw the chakra of Bengjang suddenly stagnated. Then, return at a faster speed. And flying back together was the pebble. The pebbles wrapped in chakra fell into Hinata Hikaru's hands with a snap almost instantly. Looking at the pebbles that entered his hands, Hinata Hikaru was overjoyed. She finally mastered her magical skills. After chakra leaves the body, it does not disappear immediately. The duration varies depending on the technique. Hyuga Hikaru first used the bang palm to draw out the chakra. When the chakra blew over the pebbles with the strong wind, Hinata then used the chakra absorption technique to control the separated bang palm chakra. A combined technique accomplished by utilizing two techniques. This is the benefit of practicing past skills over and over again. Learn new things by reviewing the past. Hinata Hikaru successfully invented a new technique. The next thing to do is to immediately become familiar with this ninjutsu and practice it to a more proficient level. Quack, this leader sucks, sucks. Hinata Hikari's nervous voice echoed throughout the valley, and as she continued to release ninjutsu, her proficiency in this ninjutsu began to increase exponentially. There are still 2 days left in the countdown to the departmental exam. Gaga, the magic of attracting stars. There are still 1 day left in the countdown to the departmental exam. Oh, it's so fun. I was just playing around with Xing Xiang Guang until I got to the department test. Wait until the morning of the grade department exam. The sun shines into the small courtyard and shines on Hinata Hikaru, who has fallen asleep standing up due to excessive training. Hinata was breathing lightly and sleeping very soundly. Little light, little light. It wasn't until Hinata Chiu's voice sounded that Hinata shivered violently and woke up from his sleep. Quack, this leader has gone too far in his cultivation. Actually, in the last 3 days, Hinata Hikaru did nothing but play with her star-absorbing technique. So much. Overplayed. After following Hinata Akira to have breakfast, Hinata Hikaru was ready to go to the ninja school. Today is the departmental test, so you must perform well. At the gate of the Hyuga clan, Hinata Chiu tidied Hinata's clothes and smiled. Gaga, don't worry, Akio, this leader will defeat all the scum and win the first place. Hinata Hikari recovered very proudly. Then she turned around and walked away. Seeing Hinata Hikaru's appearance, Hinata Chiu couldn't help but smile, silently watching the back figure, disappearing into the distance. Ninja School. Tang Ziyi announced the process of the grade department examination. The entire test is divided into 2 steps. The first step is to test the student's current knowledge, just like the genin graduation process. Grading is based on performance, just like an exam. Most students will only stay at the first step. In the second step, through the first step of screening, several outstanding candidates from each class will be selected for competition between different classes. This process is very similar to the third round of the Chunin examination. And Lord Hokage will come to watch the battle. Teacher Dozawa, what will happen if students fail? Some students raised their hands tremblingly and asked. This is also the possibility of being discouraged from asking questions that many students want to ask. Failed. Tang Ziyi raised his eyebrows, and then showed a very ferocious expression. Of course nothing will happen. Tang's face turned calm for a moment. Students. Ha 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 ha. Tang slapped the table and laughed so hard that tears came out. He found it very interesting to see the silly and cute expressions of the students. Doza's heart-rending laughter, coupled with the petrified expressions of the students, formed an ecstatic celebration for Doza alone. After reacting, the students couldn't help but think. I was tricked by Tang Ziyi. If I had known earlier that I wouldn't be persuaded to quit, then I would have worked harder. I was deceived. Unexpectedly, I was deceived by the stupid Tangs. Some students shook their heads and sighed, while others had dull eyes. But if you won't be dissuaded, that's great. Quack. At this moment, an inappropriate laughter sounded. It's Hikari. Everyone looked at Hinata Hikaru, knowing that she was about to make a high-profile speech again. You scumbags, it would be a good thing if you were persuaded to retreat. Since Hinata defeated Uchiha Fire Rock, no one thought that Hinata would be persuaded to retreat. Don't you know? The situation in the ninja world is unstable recently. The people of the ninja world are living in dire straits every day. Many ninjas say that the second ninja war is about to break out. It has been more than 20 years since the first ninja war ended. The ninja world has been peaceful for too long. So much so that the 5 major countries recuperated and completely restored their national strength. Armed factions in various countries have reared their heads, and frictions have continued. Although the war has not yet begun, there are already ominous signs. You scumbags would have been persuaded to retreat. The reason why Tangs changed his words is because the wind direction above has changed. Xiangguang pointed to the sky and opened his mouth. You. Hinata looked around at everyone, half smiling but not smiling. They will all become cannon fodder in the second ninja war in the future. They will burp at a young age, and the white-haired people will give the black-haired people. Hinata Hikaru, strength persuaded him to retreat. After hearing her words, some students looked at each other. Maybe, some people think that Hikaru Hinata is talking nonsense. Maybe, some people will regard Hikari Hinata's crazy talk as a topic for after-dinner conversation. He does not mean that. Someone will always notice. For example, some students' parents. Out of concern for their children, they may actually let their children drop out of school. Hey, Hinata Hikari, stop talking nonsense. Tangs immediately patted the desk and reminded. However, Hinata Hikaru is really not talking nonsense. During the Second Ninja War, countless people died, which was something she had experienced in her previous life. Many familiar faces will disappear in this war. War is hateful, but sending children to the battlefield, it's really not very kind. After all, Konoha Hidden Village is a place that cultivates killing machines. You go to the battlefield to protect your home and country. Hikaru Hinata, do you understand what the will of fire is? Some students disagreed with Hinata's statement. Thy will, that is not fire. So, he stood up and corrected him. Gaga, you are really protecting your home and country. Hinata looked at the student with a half smile, until the other student felt guilty. After all, a group of children who have never been on a battlefield can only imagine war in other ways. In the first ninja war in history, Konoha was always on the invaded side and lost a large number of ninjas, including the second generation Hokage Senju Tobirama. But the second ninja war was different. Konoha is not only the victim but also the perpetrator. The small country called Rain Country was invaded by three large countries, including Konoha. Mobile Station.